Hey y'all, Zach with Real Property Associates here. It is the month of October, so happy fall. We've officially got the cold weather, and I don't know about you, but I've been chopping a lot of wood. We actually just finished up this woodshed, so props to my wife who just finished that. We've also been doing some work on the roof, putting on it's called an elastomeric coating, but sealing in the asphalt roof. So quite a bit of fall projects trying to get the house ready for winter, so hopefully you're doing some of those as well. So let's talk about the month of September stats. So in Seattle, we had a median sales price of $715,000. In the month of September, that's 18.3% over what last September was. 18.3%. City of Shoreline, $600,000 median sales price, and that's 27% over what the price was last September in Shoreline. Edmonds was at 583. Almost 584, and again 24% over last year. And Linwood was at 480, and that was again 15-16% over. So we're continuing to see this growth that I was talking about at the beginning of the year, and I'll keep talking about this later on, but I don't think it's changing anytime soon. Homes are still selling in under 10 days. And that was the trend for Seattle and all the suburbs around. Supply somewhere between a month and a half for Seattle and all the suburbs around, and houses are still selling for over the asking price even in September. So one thing I wanted to do is actually talk a little bit about quarter three overall and do kind of a annual update at this point so far. So in quarter three, Seattle's median sales price was $718. So quarter one, $650 was the median sales price. Quarter two was $721, and then quarter three was at $718, so slightly down from quarter two. What I just mentioned in September for the stats, 10 days on the market, under a month and a half of supply, same stats for Seattle in quarter three. Shoreline was actually higher in quarter three than they were in quarter one and two at 600,000. That was their highest so far of the year. Edmonds was at 610 in quarter two, which was the height there, and down to 585 in quarter three. And then Linwood actually was also highest at 480. They were at 476 in quarter two. So Seattle and Edmonds both kind of peaked out in the springtime, whereas Shoreline and Linwood are now peaking out in quarter three. Now, one thing to note, Amazon, this is something that I was talking about and have been thinking about a lot. Amazon announced that they're looking for a headquarters outside of the city of Seattle, and I mentioned this in last month's video. It might have some kind of an impact on Seattle itself in the real estate market. What's interesting is Amazon just entered into a lease for a significant amount of space on the south side of Seattle. So it doesn't look like they're planning to go anywhere, and in fact they're planning to continue to increase their presence here. So I think I mentioned this last time, I don't think we're going to see growth in another place at the expense of Seattle, and I think we're seeing that right now. Amazon is still invested in Seattle and continuing to do so. Another thing I wanted to mention is this trend of continual growth in Seattle, and for some it's an unpopular idea that Seattle is going to continue to get more expensive and continue to be a desirable city for people outside, but I really think that's the trend. I think we've changed as a city and from being a sleepier big city to actually a city where people want to live. And if San Francisco or Vancouver or New York or any indication, I think we have a lot of room to grow. And what might seem uncomfortable and unaffordable now, in 10-15 years might be a lot more unaffordable and uncomfortable than what you're experiencing right now. So I don't like to be the bearer of bad news, but I do want to put that out there. That's my opinion, and that's what I think is going to happen, and I want you to be paying attention to that. And then lastly, if you are somebody that's looking to buy a house right now and you're thinking maybe at the end of the year, maybe into 2016 I want to buy a house, this is the time to do it. The last few years we've seen quarter four be the lowest median sales price, not by much, but prices at least leveling off. There's a lot less competition and a lot more people are able to get a home without multiple offers, or maybe only one other instead of 5 or 6 others. So if you're thinking about buying a house in the near future, let's talk. This is the time, and I've mentioned this to a few people that I've met with recently. If you can take advantage of the market as it is now, a little bit slower in this winter, fall, holiday season time, before the prices start to climb again and before competition starts to become more intense, you're going to be really glad that you did. So thanks again for watching, and we'll talk to you next month.